but that was years ago, so I'm also pretty sure you've forgotten what it was. Cinema Paradiso, which came out in 1988, is still my favorite film, and certainly it pertains to our topic, love languages. Cinema Paradiso is the story of the relationship between a little boy and the projectionist in the movie theater of a small town in Sicily. The little boy, who goes by the nickname Toto, doesn't have a father, and the projectionist, Alfredo, and his wife are childless. And Toto is fascinated with movies and all of the tasks that the projectionist does in the theater. And one of those tasks is to edit all of the films, removing any scenes of couples kissing. Alfredo does this at the request of the local priest, who doesn't, I guess, want his flock to be riled up in any way. Toto grows up and moves to Rome, where he follows his heart and becomes a famous director. Along the way, there are some problems between Toto and Alfredo, and they lose touch. But when Alfredo dies, Toto gets a message to return to Sicily to pick up something that Alfredo has left for him. That something is a reel of film. It is all of the kisses that Alfredo edited out of every movie ever shown in the small town. It is Alfredo's love letter to Toto, written in the love language that they share. The book, The Five Love Languages, was actually written in 1992 by Gary Chapman, who was a pastor in a Baptist church in North Carolina. Dr. Chapman, who dubbed himself a marriage counselor because of the work that he did with the couples in his parish, based his book on an online quiz that was taken by 10,000 people. The five love languages, as defined by Dr. Chapman, are gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, and physical touch. And you can still take Dr. Chapman's quiz if you want to. It's still online. I don't think it's totally necessary to take it, though. A little introspection probably will reveal what our love languages are. Mine, for example, is acts of service. An even bigger question is, what is love anyway? And we'll get to Tina Turner's question, what's love got to do with it? But later, let's start with what is love? Erich Fromm defines love as the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own and another's spiritual growth. And that's why Dr. Chapman's view of love languages is a bit narrow. He looked at love only from the point of view of couples love. Love is actually a much larger concept. Love includes all relationships, parent, child, siblings, friendships, community. As Fromm says, love is an act of will, namely both an intention and an action. Will also implies choice. We do not have to love, we choose to love. And as I like to say, love is not pie. Our capacity for love is limitless. We can add as many people to our circle of love as we choose without anyone who's already there having to give up even a smidgen of the love that we hold for them. So there really is no need for jealousy, except for one thing. Time is pie, but that's another sermon. Time is what gets in the way of love and can be a good reason for jealousy. We may each have our own love language, the zone in which we are the most comfortable expressing our love, but there's no single recipe for love. Love requires different things from all of us at different times. As Bell Hooks says in her book, All About Love, New Visions, affection, which is typically the first way that we feel love as infants, is only one ingredient of love. To truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients: affection, care, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, as well as honest and open communication. This is a big ask for most of us. We all come from dysfunctional families because people are just dysfunctional. And one of the most common ways of learning to deal with those dysfunctions is lying, either openly or by omission. There can be love, affection, fun, and delight in your family. But in order to avoid hurting each other's feelings or getting into disagreements, we are conditioned to tell little white lies. And that doesn't always serve our relationships well. A few days ago, my daughter Blythe was talking to me about how to treat her son Sebastian. And I felt compelled to say, I feel like you're always picking on me when it comes to him. You don't seem to trust that I understand his feelings. I felt that what she was telling me was that she didn't want me to grandparent her son the way that I had parented her, that I wasn't considerate enough of other people's feelings. It didn't really feel good to me, that thought. Her answer was this: Mom, I wouldn't tell you this if I didn't love you. I wouldn't bother, to be honest with you. I'm telling you out of love. What a gift. Open and honest communication. Suddenly, I understood this was Blythe's love language for the moment. She was extending herself for the purpose of my spiritual growth, my healing from a childhood where you sacrificed your true sense of self in deference to other people's selves. It was a light bulb moment. Mark Nepo plays a similar refrain in his Book of Awakening when he says, "You do not have to do anything to be loved. You do not have to perform or achieve or earn a merit badge or be witnessed doing good. And being who you are does not let others down." Most of us live in fear of letting others down and thereby experiencing shame, feeling unworthy of their love. Our love language might be gifts or acts of service or quality time, but we focus on providing so much for others that we burn ourselves out, and our spirits suffer when we get burned out. Hook tells us that some people have a problem using the word spiritual in relation to love. She explains the originator of the concept, a writer named M. Scott Peck, was referring to that, and I quote, "dimension of our core reality where mind, body, and spirit are one." An individual, she says, does not have to believe in religion to be assured there is a life force that, when nurtured, enhances our capacity to be more fully self-actualized and able to engage in communion with the world around us. Ideally, the most important choices we make in this life should help our spiritual growth. They should feed into our self-actualization and our communion with the world. We should love the work we do, the friends we have, the activities that we participate in, the volunteering we choose, and the church that we come to each week. We should be able to use our love languages in all of these arenas to nurture others and to nurture ourselves. That's the ideal. At work, though, even if we've chosen something we love to do, we are frequently judged on our worthiness. As a consequence, we're called upon to deal with negative energy, and we can't help but take that negative energy home with us or out to drinks with our friends. And so we spread it around. Has anybody watched the TV show What Happens in the Shadows? It's a show about a group of vampires who live together for hundreds of years. And there's one character they call an energy vampire. It is the perfect name. We all know one of these people. Someone who is so negative, they literally suck the energy out of you. So, as Tina Turner sang out loud and clear, what's love? What's love got to do with it? Well, a lot. Sometimes it seems like it's a whole other job to try and bring love into our work environments, but it can be done. We can do it by treating those we work with lovingly, by showing our respect for the jobs that everybody else is doing, by using our own love languages to nurture the spirits of those around us. We live in a world governed by violence, power, and greed. What we see of love has been romanticized, whitewashed, over-sexualized. It is The Bachelor, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, Succession, even Modern Family. Those with money, power, and good looks rule. Bell Hooks says, false notions of love teach us it is the place where we will feel no pain, where we will be in a constant state of bliss. That is not reality. Pain and suffering are part and parcel of love. Our task is not just to love, but to love in the face of our loved ones' annoying little idiosyncrasies, sicknesses, injuries, and all of the other challenges that real life brings us. We must be constant in our love. Carl Jung said, if the will to power is paramount, love will be lacking. When love is present, the desire to dominate and exercise power cannot rule the day. All of the partisanship we see today, the polarization of our country, there's only one way to roll it back. Hooks says, concern for the collective good of our nation, city, or neighborhood, rooted in the values of love, makes us all seek to nurture and protect that good. That is what love has to do with it. Each of us has our own love language, and probably more than one. We can bring these love languages into our workplaces, our schools, our communities, this church, and we can make a difference. Some people look at our Unitarian Universalist churches as having certain problems. We are not as diverse in attracting people of color as we would like. And we're kind of homogenous when it comes to economic and educational backgrounds. However, it is my belief that our 8 principles are a great foundation for inspiring us to lead with the love that will ultimately create more diversity in our midst. We need only look as far as our Standing on the Side of Love campaign, being open to people of all sexual preferences, to see how we can be successful. It might not always be easy to be open and honest in your communications with your family, friends, or your coworkers. It might not always be easy to express your love language in every relationship that you have. But it should always be easy to be open and honest here in this church and to express your love language here. In fact, this church should be the best, most fulfilling space for your life, for implementing Fromm's will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Whether you show your love through the gifts you share with others, by helping and serving them, through encouraging, affirming words, by spending time with them, and or appropriate physical touch, those love languages belong here in this church. Everyone needs someone in their lives to save all the kisses for them. As Bell Hooks says, when we let our light shine, we draw to us and are drawn to other bearers of light. We are not alone. This is just the place to start. And by the way, stay away from those energy vampires. They're always bad news. So be it, and blessed be. And our closing hymn is, I have them marked here, number 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I make my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as my heart beats, if they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Patty? Do we have any announcements at this point?
Do we have any announcements? Anyone have announcements? No? Okay.
Okay. Our closing words come to us from John C. Morgan. In the end, it won't matter how much we have, but how generously we have given. It won't matter how much we know, but rather how well we live. And it won't matter how much we believe, but how deeply we love. And will you join me in the words for extinguishing the chalice, which are in your cover of your order of service? We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I can't play tennis, my golf's a menace. I can't do the Australian crawl, and I'm no better at volleyball. Ain't there anyone here for love? Sweet love, ain't there anyone here for love? I'm apathetic, I'm non-athletic, I can't keep up in a marathon. I need some shoulder to lean on and a couple of arms to hold me. Ain't there anyone here for love? I'm not in condition to wrestle. I've never trained in a gym, but show me a guy who can nestle and I'll pin a medal on him. I need some chappy to make me happy, and he don't gotta be Hercules. Don't anyone know about birds and bees? Ain't there anyone here for love? Sweet love, ain't there anyone here for
Thanks, Patty. So fun. I said that was such a fun song.
I like that song.
Yeah.
I just see, was it Jane Russell with a badminton whacking some.
Okay, well, everybody have a good month and just try to remember, many are cold, but few are frozen.
Have a good week.
Have a good month, Donna. See you next.
I will.